What's going on? Chaos ASMR here, and I'm back for another video. As you can see, the background is different. I'm currently in the process of setting up my new backdrop, so this is gonna have to do for now. But for the topic of today's video, what I want to do is talk about scars. Not mental scars, but physical scars on the body. I have quite a few of them, and I'm not going to show any graphic images of injuries, but I am going to include photos of my scars. I was thinking about it the other day. Every scar has a story behind it, and that would be unique to each and every individual person. So let me know in the comments, do you have any scars? And I want to hear the stories behind them. I don't know, I find it interesting. So I guess we'll start with this one on my thumb. This is a small scar. When I was a little kid, I was obsessed, and still am to this day, with weapons, like katanas, ninja swords, throwing stars, throwing knives, that type of thing. And I still collect weapons to this day. I don't know why, but I thought I would pretend that I'm a samurai or some kind of warrior or something, and I would stab boxes, like cardboard boxes. And one time I was doing a little target practice, throwing some knives, stabbing a box, whatever, and I put my hand on the back of the box and stabbed it, and it went completely through the box and stabbed into my thumb. So that's where that one comes from. Most of these are pretty stupid and self-inflicted. Okay. Next, we'll do this one that is on my middle finger. I used to go to the beach a lot as a kid as well, and I used to love to skip rocks, into the ocean and everything. And one time I found what I thought was a very smooth piece of glass, and I decided I wanted to try to skip it, and when I did, it latched on and took a pretty huge, well, not that huge, but a pretty good chunk out of my finger. I had to go to the hospital. I had to get stitches. I lost feeling in the tip of my middle finger. And, it was just not a wise choice. I think actually all of my scars have not a wise choice behind them. So there's that one. Then this one on my index finger, that was again from broken glass. At one point in my life, I lived on an acreage that had a barn, and there was a broken glass window in the barn. And I don't know what I was thinking, but I reached through the window, almost like a Mission Impossible. Ooh, can I maneuver my hand through this window without touching the glass? And I, of course, touched it and cut my finger on it. So that's the story behind that one. This one on my wrist is actually kind of an interesting story. So I was out on a boat once. I was a captain of the boat. Well, captain, but I was driving the boat with some younger cousins of mine, and we were tubing. So if you know about tubing, it's a big inflatable chair or seat, and you tie it to the back of the boat, and you pull it and you make waves, and people ride on it. And it was crazy. We were out on the water, myself and my cousins, who were a lot younger than me at the time. They were probably 10 and 12, and I was, a full-grown adult. We were out on the boat, and the water started to get really, really rocky, and the skies filled with gray clouds, and it started to downpour. and being out on the water in a storm is very dangerous, so, because of lightning and things. So I said, come on, you guys, wrap it up, let's go, we're going back to shore. And my cousin pulled the tube into the boat, and I asked him, is the rope inside of the boat? He said yes. And I said, are you sure? He said yes. So I started up the boat, and the rope was not in the boat, and it got sucked up into the propeller, and it became very taut and tight, and we were stranded in this crazy, rocking, storming, thundering predicament. So this boat that we were driving had an inboard motor, so the motor doesn't hang off the back of the boat. It's all the way underneath in the center. So I had figured we had to cut the rope. There was no other option at the time. So I put on a pair of scuba goggles. Luckily I had them on the boat, and I was looking everywhere for a knife, and I could not find a knife anywhere. So the next best thing was a large flathead screwdriver. And so in the middle of this crazy storm, and it had really picked up by now, I was trying to swim all the way underneath the boat, and it's dark, with this screwdriver, trying to pick away at the rope to get it free from the propeller. And it probably took like 40 minutes of me going under, chipping a little bit away, coming back up for air, trying to see what I'm doing. And it was at one time that the screwdriver slipped off and stabbed my wrist. And it was bleeding pretty badly. There's a lot of veins and arteries going into the hand, so it looked a lot worse than it was for sure. So that's the story of that one. The most interesting story, if you ask me. Next, we'll talk about my right knee. And this kind of goes a little bit long, so I hope you guys are comfortable. So, I was jumping on a trampoline. Okay, and my idea was I wanted to do a backflip into a front flip and land it. I was with a friend at the time, and we were jumping really, really high because I wanted to come down with enough momentum that I could complete the front forward flip. And when I did the back flip, I was already preparing myself to do the front flip, and what happened was when I landed, I hyperextended my my right knee, and it completely dislocated, shifted off to the side. And you know what, I'll put a couple of pictures of x-rays and scars, but these ones are a little brutal, so if you're squeamish, look away right now for 3, 2, 1. Okay, it's cool, you can come back. So that ended up being, knee surgeries and full reconstruction. All of my ligaments in my right knee are replaced by body donors, that being the ACL, LCL, PCL, MCL, as well as my meniscus. My knee was just completely destroyed, as you could see in the photos of the x-ray, just totally out of place from the upper to the lower leg. So, not to make a long story longer, but it was years of physio and being casted and having to build up strength, learn how to walk again, that type of thing. So that one was pretty brutal. And then this scar on the front was just another entry point for them to fix. I think it was my ACL up in the front there. So that one was pretty intense. Now we'll move into my left knee, which also has scars from an unrelated incident. So after my right knee, once I kind of learned to walk again and get my balance and my strength, I figured, hey, if I can walk, I can skateboard. I was a real skateboarder back then and BMX biker. I was probably not any good, but it was something that I really enjoyed doing. And so I decided to go skateboarding. And I was going down my driveway at the time, which was very steep. And I started to go down and I was ripping really fast, faster than I had anticipated. And I started getting, the speed wobble, like I'm gonna fall over, I'm gonna wipe out. And so in an effort to preserve my now healing knee, I said, okay, I'm gonna keep that leg on the board and take my left leg and start to, press it against the ground to slow myself down so it drags, creates some friction and drag. And I short-sightedly did that, and now all of my body weight is on my bad knee, and it gives out completely. It buckles, and I fall, and all of my weight goes onto my left leg as I fall and twist, and it totally got kind of destroyed as well. So that was a full ACL severance, a MCL tear, and I tore my meniscus as well, my medial meniscus. So I had kind of just gone through it, the physio, the rehab, the process, and then I was right back in it with the other knee. Again, cast, surgery, physio for another year or so. So lots of fun there. As I said, pretty much I think all of my scars come from me being foolish and doing things that I shouldn't. So that's all the scars that I have. I also have this birthmark here. People tell me it looks like an airplane. People tell me it looks like a fish. I don't really see any of that, but that's a birthmark that I have and always have had. So that is my scar history, my scars and the stories behind them. So again, I want to know from you guys, do you have any scars and any crazy stories that go along with them? Leave them down in the comments below. Thank you for watching. As always, I hope you found this relaxing, enjoyable, entertaining, and I'll be back at you guys real soon with another video. And I'm also going to be experimenting with going live right away, so keep your eyes open for that. Well guys, I'm Chaos ASMR. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.